Hello, it's Christmas time. It's time for cookies and it's really time for candies. I love candies of all kinds, marshmallow, toffee, sponge toffee, but I really love caramel. And caramel is super duper versatile. You can use it for sauces, you can use it on ice cream, you could use it for homemade chocolates. So if you see here, I don't know if you can see here, I got my chocolate in my mold, and now I'm going to make a caramel sauce. And this caramel is called wet caramel, and it's wet because it starts with water as its base. Fun fact, sugar is actually a liquid, even though it looks like it is a solid. When you put it on heat, it will immediately start to melt. So sugar is fun and exciting to work with, and there are a few little pitfalls. So first I'm gonna tell you what the recipe is, and I'm gonna tell you some little things to avoid when you're using sugar. Okay, number one, you need a big pot, like this. Okay, in my pot, I have 1 cup of white sugar, granulated sugar, 1/4 cup of cold water, 1/4 teaspoon of lemon juice, and that prevents the sugar mixture from seizing up when it's caramelizing. And that's it. I'm going to add to it, when it gets to a certain temperature, heavy cream, whipping cream, or that's whipping cream, butter, and some vanilla. Also, just as an aside, if you don't want to use vanilla, you could also easily use scotch or whiskey or bourbon or rum or brandy, something to give it a nice flavor. Vanilla is essentially just flavored alcohol, so use a different flavor if you want. So, sugar, actually, when you're in the pot like this, the sugar is not going to be stirred. It's actually just going to move around itself. And I'm using this 1/2 cup of water with a pastry brush. If the sugar crystallizes along the top or the side of the bowl, I'm just gonna brush it down, okay? Now, caramel, there's no right pure way to make caramel. You can have a light caramel to quite a dark smoky caramel. The darker you go, the more dangerous it gets, because it could actually burn, which makes it useless, actually horrible, disgusting to eat, and sad. So when you're making caramel, the trick is to kind of walk that balance between mamby-pamby, almost no flavor, basically sugar, and a nice deep rich flavor. So that's what we're gonna do. So we've got everything all set. I've got my pretty candy molds ready to go, and I've got my pot. So I'm gonna get the heat going on my cooktop, and I'm gonna put it at a nice steady 5. And it's gonna cook for about 5 minutes, give or take, okay? So we're gonna come back in 5 and you're gonna see what it looks like. Okay, here is my amber colored caramel. To this, I'm going to add whipping cream. So the reason you use such a heavy pot for such a little amount of caramel is because when you pour the whipping cream in, it's gonna sputter and it's hot and you could really seriously burn yourself, okay? I should mention that you should really be wearing rubber gloves. I mean, oven mitts. Just so you know, the heat is not on. Okay, so I've added the cream and it's not on the heat yet. I'm just stirring it just to make sure there's nothing on the bottom. I'm gonna now add the temperature. In the magic of video, presto changeo, now I have proper oven mitts on. So I've got my caramel, I've got my whipping cream, it's in the pot. You can't really see it because I'm a silly. No, you can't see it at all. Okay, so now it's boiling. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit, and I'm gonna add my 2 tablespoons of butter, and they are chunked into little pieces. And I'm gonna drop them one by one in. You want them to melt in between. This caramel the steps to this are so similar if you're making the soft, chewy caramels, if you're gonna make fudge, just if you're interested, I'm doing a candy workshop on Saturday, and again on the 22nd, and we are going to make butter toffee, which is the hard, crunchy toffee, kind of like a score bar, but way better. And you're going to put I like to melt dark chocolate on top, and then we're gonna add a little bit of nuts. Don't have to. You could add sea salt, doesn't matter. Okay, so this butter is going to melt up. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. There's no fooling with sugar. You know right away if it's burnt, if it's garbage. You can smell it. So cooking, anytime you're cooking, you're using everything. You're gonna check how thick something is. You're gonna obviously smell it, and you need to taste it, no? But not when it's piping hot, because a burnt tongue is a tongue that really can't eat, isn't it? Okay, we're back. So the caramel has cooled, and it's this beautiful, thick, gorgeous, deep caramel. I said I'm gonna pipe it, but this is easier. I just put it in a squeeze bottle. Got them from a dollar store for about $1, actually. Okay, so my chocolate molds are set. I just poured chocolate in. You're just gonna spoon a bit of chocolate in and then swirl it around so you can get up the sides. So now I'm going to squeeze a little bit of caramel in. You don't need a whole lot. Get it all in. Here, I guess I should show you. I guess that would make sense. I guess that's the purpose of video. So I'll do that. Hold on a sec, you're gonna watch this. Here we go. You can just watch it go in like that. Can you see that? I don't know. You know why I don't know? Because I can't even see what I'm doing. There we go. Just top it in like that. I'm just gonna say you must use the silicone mold. It's just way easier. You don't need to use a fancy chocolate mold. You can just, like I say, use a silicone ice cube tray. But it's heartbreak to try to get your chocolate out of a firm mold, and then you just lose it. Okay, so enjoy your chocolates. Impress people this holiday. That should be your goal. Impress them with your delicious homemade chocolates that won't be waxy, and they'll be made with butter and cream and delicious sugar. Happy holidays.